Keep an eye to the sky for this.
That's right, it's hail, one of the storm threats we are tracking today.
Ahead, where hail, lightning, damaging winds, even tornadoes could hit now through the end of the work week.
This is a special edition of Severe Storm Central as we keep you ahead of rough weather that could threaten parts of the heartland and the southeast over the next 3 days.
Absolutely. I'm Alex Wilson here with Dave Schwartz, and along with the storm threat this afternoon, we're also keeping you on top of history.
California's governor has ordered mandatory water restrictions for the first time in the state's history. We'll have more on that story and its impacts throughout our show.
But we want to begin with that storm threat this day as storms started to pop in Oklahoma. Parts of that state and the rest of the southern plains again at risk today.
And there are warnings for severe thunderstorms in Missouri, and we're going to have some warnings further north later on as a cold front moves in from the west into the northern plains where temperatures are in the 80s at this point. And we've already had some storms in Missouri, some small hail being reported. Heads up later on for Little Rock, Dallas, all the way back to the Texas Hill Country west of San Antonio.
All right, we want to send it out to the lab. Our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, joins us now with the latest on what's happening as well as today's threat.
And we've now had thunderstorms in both Missouri and several counties and in Texas near Fort Worth with 1-inch hail. I'll take a look at those and then take a look at the ingredients for these scattered thunderstorms in many states today. Take a look here. Big cluster of thunderstorms rolling across the area near and just north of Springfield in Missouri. That's one cluster of thunderstorms. There has been 1-inch hail with those. There had been a severe thunderstorm warning with this storm just north and east of Galena up until a few minutes ago. It did produce some 1-inch hail. It's weekend. Probably still some small hail with these storms north and south of the Springfield area. Then that's sort of the north end of an area of severe thunderstorm possibilities here and there that goes all the way down into the Kerrville area and has some ongoing severe action right now near the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. There you see some of the lightning with some of these other storms in Texas, but one severe thunderstorm warning there off to the northwest side of Fort Worth. A severe thunderstorm warning for Parker and Tarrant counties. Could be hail up to 1 1/4 inches. There's already been some 1-inch diameter hail there, so watch out around the Eagle Mountain area. May build its way up to Rome, Texas as well. For the moment, no immediate impact for the Metroplex itself. It's that far suburbs. Now this disturbance here in this area has one upper air disturbance going. You can see it spiraling its way into Missouri, a tail into Texas that is feeding some of these storms. And this has much higher dew points, moisture availability. Usually it takes 50 or more, and we certainly have it today in these areas to fuel the severe thunderstorms. There's a bigger disturbance from Canada down into, I'll say, Wyoming, and the leading edge pushing into the northern and central plains. Has a cold front with it, but the moisture is just beginning to get there. It's not nearly as moist, so it's not nearly as unstable. It has some low-level jet features there that could give it some additional rotation and some stronger jet stream coming in, but it does not have the moisture. Look at these dew point values. Omaha 46, Kearney, Nebraska 43, Sioux Falls, Minneapolis in the 30s. So the moisture is not there. The instability is not there yet, but it may get there this evening from southwest Minnesota down into north central parts of Kansas. These red shaded areas maybe as far east as Omaha with a chance for damaging winds and hail. Here's one computer's rendition of how this might all unfold. This is about 8 o'clock. You begin to see a line of showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two forming in that one. These clusters of thunderstorms in the other ongoing severe thunderstorm area that I talked about. And then by 11 o'clock, it begins to congeal into a line, maybe with some damaging winds, some hail coming toward Omaha, and these other storms ongoing to the south. That cluster in the northern area keeps going until 2 in the morning. So does patches in the southern of the areas. And so we may have patches here and there overnight tonight that include this northern area, this southern area, and maybe some storms, renegade storms that will march across from Kansas into Missouri. So it's a little bit patchy today in terms of the severe weather threat. And coming up in the show later on, we'll talk a little bit about some of the threat on the next couple of days. So let's go back now to Dave and Alex.
Thank you so much, Dr. Forbes. New to us this evening, for the first time in history, California leaders ordered water use slashed by 25%. It's due to the historic drought and record low water levels, not to mention a historically low snowpack in the Sierra. Besides the 25% cut, the state will also replace 50 million square feet of lawns throughout the state with drought-tolerant landscaping. This could also affect how much people pay for water. The governor's order calls on local water agencies to adjust their rate structures to implement conservation pricing. That means if you use more water, it's going to cost a lot more. California Governor Jerry Brown made the announcement earlier today.
We're standing on dry grass, and we should be standing in 5 feet of snow. That's the way it has been. We're in an historic drought, and that demands unprecedented action. For that reason, I'm issuing an executive order mandating substantial water reduction across our state.
And now let's send it over to Dave for a detailed look at just how bad the drought is in California, not to mention the record high temperatures that are affecting the state.
Oh, I know, absolutely. You know, the beat goes on, or the heat goes on, I guess, as you like it. This is a graph that we've been showing you now for years. It's the drought index for the state of California. And at this point, we're looking at everything that's shaded in some shade of red here. Now, that part of the state comprises 2/3 of it, 67%. 3 months ago, 78% was under that extreme drought. So there has been some improvement, but not enough for a whole wet season that is now just coming to an end. For example, here in Sacramento, we have an average of 8 inches of rain so far this year. We've had 2. But there is the threat of some rain Sunday and Tuesday. And in Los Angeles, 10 inches would be average. So far this year, we've had 3 inches of rain. So it's dry, it's sunny, it's wonderful, it's Easter, and it's a drought. So I guess the knife cuts both ways in this case. Alex, back to you.
Thanks, Dave. Well, today will not be the end of the severe weather threat. It actually ramps up tomorrow. Ahead, who has a 4 in 10 chance of seeing one of these? We track the cities at greatest risk for possible tornado trouble. And we remind you that we're here to keep you ahead of the storm all day and deep into the night, on air, online, and on the go. We'll be back after your local on the 8s.
Lennox makes the quietest system you can find. So even though it's the most powerful force in your home, it won't sound like it is. Save up to $1,700 on qualifying systems, now through June 12.
For more information, contact your local Lennox dealer.
What's he doing? You think I have time to run into?
Golfsmith. Anything for golf.
I recommend Nature Made vitamins because I trust their quality. They were the first to have a vitamin verified by USP, an independent organization that sets strict quality and purity standards.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended letter vitamin brand.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service certified asthma and allergy friendly. It's our new standard of clean. Call about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Lowe's presents How to Accidentally Invent a New Word.
This new living room is so you. It's so
sophisticated.
Exactly. Sophisticated.
Now get 20% off all Bali blinds and shades at Lowe's.
We are still in the eye, and we're still trying to get in a big place.
She's in labor right now.
We know more about this system hour by hour.
This is our Pineapple Express pumping in that rainfall.
We are talking about a doozy of a storm.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, mostly clear, low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sundays.
One man's trash
Get to work.
is another man's totally awesome beer can space heater.
Hi. Brainstormers. Sundays at 9. Only on the Weather Channel.
When you're hungry for the craveable taste of tender fish and shrimp, nothing's better than Long John Silver's. Now, for a limited time, enjoy our new crispy golden fish and shrimp basket for just $3.99 at Long John Silver's.
Johnny, even after careers like ours, we're still going strong.
What's your secret, Richard?
Blue MU. It's got an active ingredient to relieve my muscle aches and joint pains. Blue MU. It works fast.
And you won't stink.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
We've got a look at Tulsa right now. Quiet, mainly clear, but tomorrow you guys need to be on alert. A torcon of 4. That's a 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a location in eastern Oklahoma. So tomorrow, a day to know where you are as far as county goes, know where your safe spot is as far as where you live. Let's talk about the risk tomorrow for the Tulsa area and what exactly we're going to be watching for as far as the setup goes and who else has the storm chances. We've got that warm, moist air working out of the Gulf of Mexico. Notice that dry line setting up through parts of central Texas and into Oklahoma. And just east of that, that's where we're going to see those storms begin to fire during the day on Thursday. That upper level jet stream, that area of low pressure also in play. So here's the impact zone and what we'll be watching for. Hail, damaging winds, and the threat for tornadoes all the way from Dallas and Tulsa over to St. Louis, Little Rock, Memphis, Paducah, Louisville, Indianapolis, Indiana, even up towards the Cincinnati, Ohio area. So a lot of areas where we need to keep a very close eye. Eastern Oklahoma, as I mentioned, you have a 4 out of 10 on the torcon. That means a 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a location. So this is one of the areas where you really need to be weather aware. Torcon defined, you heard me mention a 40% chance. Well, when you've got a 4 on the torcon, that means for that location, say in this case it's Tulsa, within 50 miles of Tulsa, 50-mile radius, there's a 40% chance of a tornado. You multiply that torcon number by 10 to get your percent chance of a tornado. So the higher the number, the more dangerous the situation is, or the higher likelihood we think you have for seeing a tornado. Tulsa, Oklahoma, it's Thursday into Thursday night that we're watching your timing. Damaging wind gusts, large hail will be the threats, as well as that chance of a tornado, and an overnight severe threat will be in play. So the apps, the weather radios, you're going to have to rely on those to alert you once you're sleeping. So make sure you have those downloaded or purchased for use tomorrow. Dave.
Great tip, Alex. You know, as long as we're talking numbers, torcon, for example, that you just showed us, let's talk about another set of numbers. It's the EF scale. Now, you might remember years ago they would rate tornadoes or the tornado damage using an F scale. Well, this is a newly upgraded one. It's pretty similar to the old one, and EF stands for Enhanced Fujita Scale. Ted Fujita, a researcher at the University of Chicago, was from Japan, and he witnessed the destruction done during World War II from atomic bombs that landed. That really piqued his interest. What can happen up there, an explosion, let's say, to create such incredible damage on the ground? That's how he became a tornado researcher. EF0 on the scale is the weakest one there is. It might peel off some of the roof tiles, damage to gutters if they're already loose, broken tree branches. EF1 is stronger with winds into the hurricane force range. Roofs severely stripped, mobile homes can be overturned, that kind of thing. Then we get into the stronger EF2, Enhanced Fujita 2, where the damage, and these are rated, this is damage rating, roofs torn off well-constructed homes, mobile homes destroyed. That's why we tell you if you're in a mobile home and there's a tornado warning, you have to get out of it. Got to get out of it. EF3, this is a major tornado. Entire stories of well-constructed homes obliterated. Then we're going more. We're going up to number 4. EF4, the whole frame house leveled. Cars tossed around, flying in the air, small missile generated. That's why you have to get below ground. You don't want to be there above ground when cars are flying around. And EF5, the worst. Strong frame houses not only destroyed, swept away. Incredible phenomena can occur. The EF scale. Alex, back to you.
And so we've shown you how strong tornadoes can be, but just ahead, how they grow to be that strong. It's the anatomy of a tornado, courtesy of our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, as our special coverage of this severe weather threat continues. In the meantime, we've got some advice to keep you and your family weather ready in a tornado warning. If you're in a mobile home, most important thing, get out. That's why now, if you're in one of those, know where your nearest sturdy structure is.
It took James Dyson 5,000 prototypes to invent the bagless vacuum. And another 10,000 to invent the only vacuum that doesn't lose suction, thanks to patented sonic tips. Everything else is history. Search Kinetic now.
My budget was always second-guessing me when I'd buy stuff for the family. Fingerhut, Fingerhut, Fingerhut. Just click on over to fingerhut.com to get the credit you deserve and great stuff for your family. Oh, not Fingerhut.
Thanks for this Oreo caramel shake, Kara.
Caramel for Kara. That makes sense.
And Janine for peanut butter.
I don't get it. Why?
Because she reminds me of my ex-girlfriend, Janine, who was nuts.
25 real ice cream shakes, all half price after 8 p.m. This is how you Sonic.
Next.
Expected wait time, 55 minutes. Your call is important to us. Thank you for your patience.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority. We do things differently.
We'll take care of it.
We put members first.
Thank you.
Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Looks like the Garcias got a new car.
What'd they get?
I don't know.
Sure doesn't look like a Buick.
Buick.
I'm outside. Where are you?
I'm right here. I'm in the Buick.
I don't see a Buick.
Take a fresh look at Buick. It just might surprise you.
That's not a Buick. That's what I told him.
Wow. This is
nice.
Oh, my.
Now get sign and drive leases across the entire 2015 Buick lineup. Like this Buick Encore for around $199 per month on vehicles in stock the longest.
Whatever their stickers say, they'll all lose suction because their filters clog. But with our sonic tips oscillating at 5,000 hertz, only new Dyson Kinetic Science won't lose suction.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, Sundays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
One look at that Red Baron pizza, and you're gonna love it from the first bite to the last. Because a perfect pizza requires a perfect crust. The sauce commands your attention. The cheese begs you to savor every bite. The pepperoni declares you have reached pizza nirvana. And that last slice?
What's it worth to you?
A perfect crust means a better pizza. Red Baron. Love at first bite. Pick up a pizza you can call your own. Red Baron Singles.
Attention Xarelto users.
If you or a loved one has taken the blood-thinning drug Xarelto and suffered an injury or even died, you could be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Xarelto has been linked to internal bleeding, strokes, and pulmonary embolisms. If you or a loved one has taken the blood-thinning drug Xarelto and have been hospitalized for internal bleeding, you could be entitled to substantial financial compensation.
Don't be a silent victim. Time is limited to file your claim. Call now for free information and a free consultation.
Call 1-800-464-2410, 1-800-464-2410.
Just never know what's going to happen.
Woo! That was a good one.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 66. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Let's take a look at what's happening right now as we watch the radar. We've got a few severe thunderstorm warnings, one along the Missouri-Arkansas border and then another one down into parts of Texas with more storms firing. Notice this one off to the west of Dallas. This is just northwest of Fort Worth for Parker and Tarrant counties until 4:30 Central Time. So you got to watch in this area for hail as we're seeing some of those pinks and whites show up. Lots of lightning with this as well. So even outside of severe storms, the lightning can be very dangerous. And when we track the hail size possible within this one, it is possible to see greater than quarter-sized hail for sure out of this one, perhaps up to a golf ball size hail. So we're going to watch this one very, very closely. Right now, though, we want to check in with Dave.
And you know, this is Wednesday and we've got severe weather. Yesterday we had 180 hail reports. And tomorrow and Friday, there'll be more. Memphis, you will be in the crosshairs. Right now, we've got kind of a hazy sunshine through some high, thin clouds. It is 79 degrees, but the humidity is there. So when a disturbance, a boundary, a cold front, something gets closer to us, we're going to have the threat for severe storms on Friday. So this is Friday now. This is what we're talking about. We've got one upper-level disturbance here in the northern plains and another one moving through the Rockies. This is going to put down some snow in Utah and Colorado for sure, and then move out into the middle of the country where the moisture continues to build. So here is our mid-level spin, and at the very leading edge of it, right here from the Ohio Valley back into Oklahoma, that's where we're likely to have some severe thunderstorms. As those mid-level areas of spin or vorticity get closer, air gets rising, boom. So here we are on Friday. We don't have Memphis on this map, but that is where it is, right here. The Bluff City, Nashville, Louisville, Paducah, Cincinnati, Little Rock back to Houston and Jackson, Mississippi, and Tennessee, actually. You're going to have the threat for severe thunderstorms. So heads up, my friend, there could be some tornadoes in here, especially in Kentucky and Tennessee. A 4 in 10 chance of a tornado within 50 miles of wherever you are in Kentucky and Tennessee on Friday. Here's the forecast for Memphis. Memphis, damaging gust, large hail, maybe a tornado with improving weather as the front goes through on Friday night. Now, here's a special little something for you. Dr. Greg Forbes explains how tornadoes form. Check this out.
Yeah, Dave, and the anatomy of a tornado as well. Take a look. A lot of tornadoes form from a thunderstorm that itself rotates, and by doing so, it pulls itself into a spiral with a hook there. We call that a supercell thunderstorm, and that hook echo, the tornado just north of that end of the hook. And that thunderstorm then has depth to it. We go up all the way to maybe 50,000 feet. The southwest end of the thunderstorm is where the hook is, and the wall cloud of the rotating cloud at cloud base often is right with that hook. There's the tornado that forms. The tornado also has some structure. It's sometimes a little bit wider at the base because it's kicking up dust and debris. We call that a debris cloud. That tornado often forms where what we call a rear flank downdraft, rain-cooled air brings down some of that rotation from aloft, and where that intersects the updraft, the warm moist flow, we get a tornado. Sometimes the tornado has updraft right at the center, but sometimes the stronger tornadoes get a little bit of downdraft at the center as it gets wider and the updraft goes to the edges. Of course, the tornado has a counterclockwise spiraling flow that goes upward along those edges, and the fastest winds tend to occur at the edges. Sometimes these wide tornadoes with the downdraft at the center actually get multiple funnels. We call them suction vortices that revolve about the tornado. So the tornado is complicated. It has inflow, it has updraft, sometimes downdraft, sometimes multiple vortices. Dave, Alex?
Dr. Forbes, you blow me away every time. You know, always something interesting. You know, these storms are going to pack more than the threat of tornadoes.
As this incredible video from last night shows, dangerous lightning going to be a big risk.
And I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
Today, you brighten the room. Glidden High Endurance Paint. Check. Drop cloths. Check. Painter's tape. Check. Rollers and trays. Check and check.
Wow, looks nice.
Caribbean blue.
You mean Caribbean?
Caribbean.
Agreeing on a color? Done. With everything you need for a makeover at Walmart's low prices you can trust every day, what project will you take on?
High-performance car, but you're still wearing your indoor eyeglasses in the glare of the sun? Experience Xperio UV, superior polarized sun lenses, and experience the difference. High-tech skis, and you're not wearing Xperio UV on the slopes? They eliminate 100% of blinding reflective glare and offer the maximum UV protection. Think the view can't get any better than this? Ask for Xperio UV, superior polarized sun lenses in your prescription for the best vision under the sun.
Get $90 back combining Crizal, Verilux, and Transitions and a second pair with Xperio UV.
You know, some people have told me reverse mortgages sound too good to be true. I mean, you get cash out of your home, no monthly payments, and still own your home. There's got to be a catch, right, Jesse? Well, there isn't. It's like any other mortgage, only with a reverse mortgage, the loan's paid back when the last borrower leaves the home. In fact, reverse mortgages are based on a notion that President Reagan signed into law over 25 years ago in order to help seniors remain in their homes. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, you may qualify for a government-insured reverse mortgage with AAG that allows you to turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. And with AAG, there are never any credit score requirements.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive a new free information kit, including a reverse mortgage guide and DVD, personal stories from people like you, and a brand new family guide for children and loved ones, all absolutely free with no obligation.
AAG can help you pay off credit card debt, eliminate monthly mortgage payments, and provide some real retirement security.
Call 1-800-661-0312 today to get your free AAG reverse mortgage information kit and bonus DVD.
In the kits, you'll receive a helpful three-part guide. The first will show you how a government-insured reverse mortgage allows you to access the equity in your home as tax-free cash. 500,000 people have already done it. The second booklet contains stories told by people just like you who've had their lives changed forever using a reverse mortgage. And the third guide is full of helpful answers and information for children and loved ones.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free.
There's simply an effective way for folks just like you to get the cash you need to enjoy your retirement.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free. Call 1-800-661-0312 now.
AAG, the best advice for a better life.
We are still in the eye, and we're still trying to get in a big place.
She is in labor right now.
We know more about this system hour by hour.
This is our Pineapple Express pumping in that rainfall.
We are talking about a doozy of a storm.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 66. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sundays.
One man's trash
This is perfect.
is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, Sundays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
The kind of hail that bounced on the ground and can shatter windows. And bolts of lightning that can not only light up the sky, but shatter trees.
Those are two of the threats we can see from intense storms from now all the way until the end of the week. And it's because of that ongoing threat that we are in a special edition of Severe Storm Central.
Yeah, we've expanded our live coverage to deep into the night to keep you ahead of these storms. Now, it's 1:30 right now. I'm Dave Schwartz.
And I'm Alex Wilson. This time yesterday, storms were popping across the country, and in El Dorado, Oklahoma, this is one of the spots that dealt with them. Reed Timmer captured this video as he chased storms along the southern plains. Parts of Oklahoma are already seeing some action this afternoon. You remember parts of the southeast also seeing some storms.
Yeah, another place we're watching closely is the Ozarks of Arkansas. That's the northwest part of the state. This is a live look at Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And I see some bubbling cumulus clouds in the back, right in the distant center of the screen.
Absolutely, yeah. You're looking at a pretty picturesque scene, but beyond that picturesque scene, there is some trouble possibly brewing.
It really is the heartland of America. We've had lightning as far north as Wisconsin and Minnesota today.
Absolutely. This is the severe threat for today. Notice it's a lot of real estate all the way from southwestern parts of Minnesota into Iowa down through, say, Kansas. Then we've got Oklahoma and Texas and Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, and also the state of Missouri under that threat for severe weather.
You know, that's just about from the Canadian to the Mexican border.
Absolutely.
You know? Well, Dr. Forbes is standing by in the lab. We're so glad to have him. And what are we seeing now and what could develop, Dr. Forbes?
Well, right now we're seeing, again, like we saw yesterday, the threat for hail. Now, there's storms Missouri, now near Memphis, and down near Fort Worth. Maybe that one, the latter one, will have tennis ball size hail. Take a look, the cluster that's up in Missouri down to Tennessee, up around Springfield, down into the Arkansas-Missouri border, and then off to the north of Memphis, we have severe thunderstorm warnings. And of course, these thunderstorms pack lightning when thunder roars go indoors. There's Springfield, Missouri. We have maybe some 1-inch hail. There's been quite a few reports of that in Missouri today. Dallas, Greene, Webster counties there from that storm now heading toward Highway 65. Then down just near the Arkansas border, Fulton and Sharp counties in Arkansas with that threat for hail. That will head up toward the Gatewood area there of Missouri. And then just to the north and east of Memphis, brand new severe thunderstorm, Fayette, Shelby, and Tipton counties, mainly a hail threat with that one. Looks like maybe a couple of storms merging there. There could be some locally brief heavy rain as well. Then within this two severe areas, there's a bit of a gap and then some additional thunderstorms down near the Dallas area, some way down in between Austin and San Angelo. We'll zoom in on the one that's up near Fort Worth area. That one could produce tennis ball size hail now as Parker, Tarrant, and Wise counties have a severe thunderstorm warning. And I've taken a slice through the storm here. You see that there are several cores to that. And when we slice through it with our high definition radar, the south is at the left, north is at the right, and then height is upward. So it's about 40,000 feet tall, nearly 8 miles tall. There's one big hail core there, a smaller one located there. This big hail core with all the lavender in it, that's the one maybe that will give some tennis ball size hail. These areas that in this southern of the two severe threat areas today have the moisture. Dew point values reflect that. 60s across this area, so no question we're going to get some hailstorms in there. Not a big tornado threat. The northern area has a cold front that maybe give it a little bit extra lift, but the moisture hasn't really got there yet. Has a little bit of low-level winds faster than in the southern areas, but it doesn't have the moisture. Omaha's 46, Sioux Falls, Minneapolis in the 30s. Even Kansas is barely up to the low 50s that usually is what we need. So later on with a front, it may get a damaging wind gust and some hail from southwest Minnesota down into parts of Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas. It'll probably be evening, maybe go into the overnight hours as well in those areas, continuing in the areas where they're existing at the moment, and maybe some storm may renegade from Missouri and Kansas across some of that area into St. Louis in the overnight time period. But tomorrow we'll have a higher threat of a tornado, and we'll be talking more about that in additional segments of the program. Dave, Alex?
Thank you, Dr. Forbes. Well, the severe weather threat will increase as we head through the evening hours in Nebraska.
Let's bring in meteorologist Paul Goodloe. He is in Omaha, Nebraska, one of the areas that is weather ready. And have you talked to people, Paul? Are they aware of what's headed their way?
Not a lot of people are aware of this. Again, here in this part of Nebraska, the plains and Midwest, they've had a pretty mild winter in terms of Midwestern plains standards. In fact, we had about a foot below average in terms of snowfall. Hasn't had super cold outbreaks, which is a great thing. But now we've seen this very warm weather, very warm day going on. We should be around 56, 57 for a high this time of the year. We're sitting at 82 degrees and it's very windy, sustained winds at times over 20 to 25, gusting over 35 miles per hour. Now again, to the right of me is downtown Omaha, which is Nebraska. Here's the Missouri River. I'm going to pan that way. Then to the looking east, that's Iowa over there. But take a look at the Missouri River because we have winds from the south coming up here. The river is flowing from the left to the right on your screen, but the winds coming from the right to left is actually making whitecaps and waves moving right to left, kind of upstream here. That's the power of the wind here, and all this is kind of priming the atmosphere for possible severe weather across areas of the plains and Midwest, already ongoing south of here, but this is really a later in the evening type timing here. Let's talk about how you can stay safe in your home, whether you're in Omaha or anywhere here across the Midwest or anywhere in the country that could be dealing with severe weather. The first thing is you want to monitor your TV or radio or even the internet to find out if you're under that threat. The other thing you want to have is what I have in my hand. This is a NOAA Weather Alert radio. This one can be plugged into the wall. It has batteries. It also has a hand crank, so if any of those two power sources go bad, you can manually power this up and get the warnings information you need as well. This also has a flashlight. You can find this at any Best Buy or Target or Walmart. Name your store, you can probably find this where you live. It's a great gift as well. Let's talk more about the Omaha area because we are expecting some severe weather. So don't let the blue skies and the warm day fool you. This is all slowly priming the atmosphere for thunderstorms. We think the more severe storms should be south of here, but we still can't rule out the risk of tornadoes. We have the chance of thunderstorms coming through here really after sunrise, and that will continue even after midnight, and then much cooler as we head towards tomorrow. But the good news, Dave and Alex, we're talking about sunshine and temperatures around 70 for Easter weekend. And by the way, Dave, I know you love trivia. Omaha, by the way, the home of the Henry Doorly Zoo, the largest zoo in the world. I said the world in terms of number of species and landmass right here in good old Omaha, Nebraska.
Thank you, Paul.
There
well, that
you
is
have
a new
it.
piece of
Fun
trivia.
fact. Absolutely. That's going to come in handy, I feel like.
So there's the threat for severe weather there. But I'll tell you, there is a deadly threat from every thunderstorm. You know what that is? Lightning. And knowing what to do before it strikes can save your life.
Our own Jen Carfagno shows you where to go when lightning threatens.
Each year in the U.S., there are approximately 25 million cloud-to-ground lightning strikes, resulting in hundreds of injuries and dozens of fatalities while people are outdoors. Know that lightning can strike from as far away as 10 miles, even if it's not raining and the skies are clear. So if you hear thunder, head indoors. If you're outside with a sports group and there's a chance for thunderstorms, make sure there's someone monitoring the weather conditions. Watch for darkening skies, growing clouds, or increasing winds, which may mean an approaching storm. If you hear thunder, seek shelter in an enclosed, sturdy building with electricity and plumbing, which will divert a lightning strike into the ground. If there's no safe building available, head to a hardtop vehicle. Make sure the doors are closed and windows are up. A golf course can be a lightning hazard. The open fairways are dangerous for direct lightning strikes. Avoid trees and metal objects. Lightning can travel through the ground from a nearby strike. So if severe weather threatens, run or drive to safety. Remember, when it comes to lightning, there's no safe place outside.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 66. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
married?
Never.
Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
A little bit here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may. I'm making a beautiful day.
You're only young once, unless you have a Subaru.
The Subaru XV Crosstrek. Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 34 mpg. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
It's gonna tempt your tummy with a taste of nuts and honey. It's honey of an old. It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
Even after careers like ours, we're still going strong.
What's your secret, Richard?
Blue Emu Super Strength Cream.
It gets down deep to soothe my muscles and joints.
And it's odor-free. It works fast.
And you won't stink.
Introducing the new Can-Am Spyder F3. With a cruising riding position and the most advanced vehicle stability system in the industry, you'll ride with a feeling of complete freedom and confidence. Visit your Can-Am dealer and test drive the Spyder F3 today.
People that would do anything for golf deserve a store that would do anything for golfers. Visit Golfsmith for the largest selection and guaranteed lowest prices. Golfsmith, anything for golf.
Once we were dreamers, adventurers set out to discover new lands, new people, new ways. Once we were great explorers in search of hidden treasure, secret hideouts, magic lands. The treasure is still here and waiting to inspire a new generation of dreamers. Come uncover the riches and bounty of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
Hey, what is this? What's going on?
Well, where have you been?
I was inside.
Yeah?
So long. There was nothing. No yard, no grill. It was just white and cold.
It was winter, buddy. Just winter.
Somebody get this man a burger!
Winter's over, and new and improved Kingsford charcoal is now better than ever.
When you're hungry for the craveable taste of tender fish and shrimp, nothing's better than Long John Silver's. Now, for a limited time, enjoy our new crispy golden fish and shrimp basket for just $3.99 at Long John Silver's.
At Ancestry, we call it a hint. Simply type in a name and follow the Ancestry leaf far into your family's past. A past filled with stories that intrigue and inspire. And in doing so, reveal the one unique, improbable, and completely remarkable path that led to you. Discover your story. Start searching for free now at Ancestry.com.
I recommend Nature Made fish oil because I trust their quality. They were the first to have a product verified by USP, an independent organization that sets strict quality and purity standards.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended fish oil brand.
New to us this evening, for the first time in history, California leaders ordered mandatory water restrictions. Water consumption is cut by 25%. The state will also replace 50 million square feet of lawns throughout the state with drought-tolerant landscaping. This could also affect how much people pay for water. The governor's order calls on local water agencies to adjust their rate structures and implement conservation pricing. That means if you use more water, it's going to cost a lot more. California Governor Jerry Brown made the announcement earlier today.
California is a pioneering state. People have come here to build a life, and together we're going to build a continuously better life, but that means conservation, it means innovation, and it means collaborating on the farm and in the city and in the mountains in a way that we take into account reality. And reality is that the climate is getting warmer, the weather is getting more extreme and unpredictable, and we have to become more resilient, more efficient, and more innovative. And that's exactly what we're going to do.
Let's take a look at the latest drought numbers. 67% of the state in extreme drought. Extreme drought, that's the bright red, and then notice that dark red is the exceptional drought. But over 2/3 of the state in extreme drought or worse. And when we look at the forecast for the San Francisco area, there is a chance of rain on the horizon early next week. Does look like some good opportunities for wet weather coming to the state. Dave.
You know, we'll take that. You know, one of the problems, well, we'll get to that in a second. Here we are in Dallas, and we're humid, we're cloudy. There have been some storms roll by just to the northwest of Fort Worth, and we're watching for the threat of severe thunderstorms over the next 3 days. Nashville, Tennessee will eventually get in on it. Right now we're enjoying sunshine on the campus of Vanderbilt University. But east of the Rocky Mountains, winds come in off the Gulf of Mexico. Those are super saturated eventually. We don't ever get that in California. You know, the water is cool over there, but this, I mean, tropical air like this can help to produce a lot of rain. So we don't have any drought going here in Texas or in Arkansas. And we have the threat for severe weather too tomorrow. And that includes the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex all the way up to the tri-state region right around Cincinnati and Covington on the other side of the river. That's tomorrow. And then with the potential for tornadoes here in eastern Oklahoma. So factor that into your plans tomorrow if you're traveling east of Interstate 35. That's where the greatest risk of tornadoes is going to be. Dallas, a chance of thunder showers. This is tomorrow evening. Isolated severe weather. Just be heads up. Lots of folks will be traveling as we approach the Easter holiday. Keep us in mind, will you? Good. Alex, back to you.
Absolutely, Dave. Hey, hail, a big cause for concern from these storms. So we want to break down the threat by the size of hail that can fall. The larger the hail, the stronger the updraft. And when we have very strong updrafts within storms, that's indicative of stronger thunderstorms. So pea-sized hail, you oftentimes get these with even garden variety thunderstorms. They're not too problematic. And obviously pea-sized hail isn't going to cause you much trouble as far as denting your car or hurting you, but it can coat the lawn, and it takes a 35-mile-per-hour updraft to get that. Quarter-sized hail, at this point, a storm is deemed severe, requires a nearly 50-mile-per-hour updraft. Then for golf ball-sized hail, 64 miles per hour, over 80 miles per hour for a piece of hail the size of a baseball. It requires these strong updrafts to withhold the weight of these chunks of ice. Teacup-sized hail, 85-mile-per-hour gusts and over 100-mile-per-hour gusts, or updrafts, I should say. So the wind speed going upwards, that's what it takes to maintain a softball-sized hailstone. Or I guess, Dave, at that point, it doesn't maintain it anymore, but it allowed it to grow to that strength. Wow.
Right, that storm will collapse. Yeah. You know, with threats like those, Alex, it's even more important to know what to do when severe weather threatens. So if you're in an office building, go directly to an enclosed windowless area in the center of the building on the lowest floor possible. Interior stairwells are usually good places to take shelter, and stay off of elevators. You know, you could be trapped in them if the power goes out. Now, along with the severe threat, winter weather just will not disappear. Ahead where snow could fall, even on Easter Sunday. And discover if the snowmaker could become our next named winter storm.
Capri Sun, with no high fructose corn syrup and no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. Those are your rules. Their rules?
There's 5 people who are it. You gotta hit the target. You can go over or under.
Let them figure them out. Yay! Everything they love, and now with no high fructose corn syrup.
Guys, I found 10th base!
Capri Sun. Go ahead. Let them push play.
It's gonna go fast. Hold on.
You just never know what's gonna happen.
Holy this is cold! We know you can't control the weather, so we build things to harness it.
Woo! That was a good one.
That's amazing. Straight above our heads. That's just incredible.
Man, how do we do that? This is where I want to be right now.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 66. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Which car company is the first and only to offer built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi in cars, trucks, and crossovers? Ranking from top to bottom.
I'm going to say Mercedes is the innovator.
BMW just because they're pricey.
The final answer? Chevy.
This model has the Wi-Fi in it?
Yep.
That's the dream, to have Wi-Fi in the car.
Get cash back for 15% of the MSRP on select 2015 models. That's over $4,000 on this Chevy Equinox. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
I'll trade you 3 of these for trash duty. Sure.
Today, sweeten the deal. Get low prices you can trust every day on Reese's Peanut Butter Eggs and Cadbury Cream Eggs.
At book club, they were asking me what you're doing now, Janice.
Blogging. Your blog is just pictures of you in a mirror.
It's called a fashion blog, Todd. Well, I've been helping people save money with Progressive's discounts. Flo, can you get Janice a job?
You should have stuck to softball. I was so much better at softball than Janice dead.
Where's your wife, Todd?
Vacation.
Discounts like homeowners, multi-policy. I got a discount on this ham.
I've got the meat sweats. It's good ham, Diane.
Paperless discounts. Give it a rest, Flo.
Yeah, Flo, give it a rest, Flo.
It took James Dyson 5,000 prototypes to invent the bagless vacuum, and another 10,000 to invent the only vacuum that doesn't lose suction, thanks to patented sonic tips. Everything else is history. Search Kinetic now.
Look! This is the new Asian-inspired broth bowl from Panera Bread. Our hero is the soba noodle, which we pair with fresh spinach. Mushrooms, yes. And chicken raised without antibiotics. Very nice. Then top with a soy miso broth. That noise! Panera broth bowls should be slurped with gusto. Yum. To explore further, order online or visit your neighborhood Panera Bread.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. And an award for best tasting hard cider.
Have you got the shot yet?
Remember that thing about keeping your face behind the award? Strongbow.
Xfinity from Comcast gives you a front row seat to every team in the NHL. With NHL Center Ice, you can follow your favorite teams no matter where you live. You get up to 40 out-of-market games a week. And with the sports app only on X1, you can see all the live scores in real time as teams battle to make the Stanley Cup playoffs. Order NHL Center Ice right now for the lowest price of the season. Just 2 payments of $24.99. Call 1-800-XFINITY or go online.
It's a little-known fact that when you whip up a bowl of smooth, buttery Hungry Jack mashed potatoes on fish stick night, they'll honor you with a moment of silence. Award-winning Hungry Jack mashed potatoes.
Your gut. It's your engine, your digestive core. So why settle for just any probiotic? Ultimate Flora by Renew Life has 30 billion cultures. Feel lighter, more energized, and happier. Ultimate Flora. More power to your gut.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Hello, welcome back. I'm severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes. Taking a look at the severe thunderstorms that are ongoing. We have several from Missouri to Tennessee and Arkansas. tennis ball size hail just northwest of Fort Worth. We'll start with these. There's some severe thunderstorms, lots of lightning there around Springfield, Missouri, down to the Arkansas border, and then just to the northeast of Memphis, Tennessee. Let's take a look at these. Mostly 1-inch hail capability there, north and east of Springfield, Dallas and Webster counties, north and west of the Marshfield area, the biggest of the storms. Down near the Arkansas line, heading toward Gatewood, Missouri, Randolph County in Arkansas, 1-inch hail or bigger. And off to the north and east of Memphis, a cluster of thunderstorms now. Could be additional warnings in there, but for the moment, Fayette, Shelby, and Tipton counties have that threat for hail and maybe some locally damaging wind gusts. That's all part of one area of thunderstorms today, one upper air disturbance causing these anywhere from southern Missouri and Memphis area down into central parts of Texas. And within that, there are some spotty thunderstorms, including a warning down here in Mason County. But the biggest hail of the day thus far has been in the storm off to the north and west of Fort Worth. That has occurred at Reno and Sanctuary in northeast corner of Parker County. Now it's moved out of Parker into Tarrant and Wise County, especially northwest Tarrant. These lavender cores, there could still be more of that tennis ball size hail between Briar and the Saginaw area heading off toward the northeast. It's moist enough for the big hail and severe thunderstorms down here today. These dew point values in the upper 50s and 60s reflect that, but it's not so moist as we get up into the northern area that might get some severe thunderstorms. To see these wind streams colliding, so there's a front there that may help push up the thunderstorms despite the lack of moisture. That will be this evening from southwest Minnesota down across parts of Iowa and Nebraska into north central parts of Kansas. And overnight tonight, some of these thunderstorms may continue in the area from southern Minnesota down into parts of Iowa, might get to the Kansas City area, and continuing from the Texas area up into Arkansas, might get into St. Louis, and maybe filling in the gap across the state of Missouri. Tomorrow, it's a little bit different area, sliding a bit to the south. Some thunderstorms get into the Ohio Valley. They could be severe, as well as down into the Mississippi Valley, and it's going to be probably pretty spotty. There's going to be a warm layer aloft, some dry air aloft, but I think a few thunderstorms will pop up, and that could mean a chance of a tornado. I've given a tornado condition index, if they go, of 40% for eastern parts of Oklahoma. Now, it may be April, but we still have some winter weather ongoing. Let's go to Alex for that.
Absolutely, Dr. Forbes. Some places might be waking up to snow Easter morning. In Denver, after a not very snowy month for you, under 3 inches for the month of March, you've got another chance for some snow showers ahead. Pittsburgh, it's the holiday weekend when the snow could be on your doorstep. Let's take a look at the radar right now, where we're seeing the snow up into parts of South Dakota, or rather Wyoming. Around Rapid City, mainly it's rain at this point. Idaho, western Montana, you can see the snow showers and a few snowflakes into places in Colorado, those high elevations. Tomorrow, these are where we expect the snow into northern Colorado, southern parts of Wyoming, and even tomorrow night in Denver, you get in on the snow with a rain-snow mix closer to the Colorado-Kansas border, as well as sections of far southwest Nebraska. You can see a little rain-snow mix, showers off to the east of there. And through Friday morning, up to a foot of snow possible in some of those higher elevations for Denver. 1 to 3 inches, so perhaps getting close to your March total. 2.9 inches fell in the Denver area during the month of March. 3.5 inches over close to the Aspen area, although really more in the central and north part of the state, with lesser amounts the further east that you go, closer to the Colorado-Nebraska border. Denver, here's your forecast for Thursday into Thursday night. You're actually going to start off with rain showers, so don't let that fool you. It will change over to snow by the evening and into the overnight hours. Then into the weekend, an upper disturbance first brings snow to the Rockies, so there's that same system. It's going to work eastward, and it's going to drag the cold air east as well. And anywhere here in the pink could be cold enough for that rain-snow mix. So we are going to watch for that Friday night in parts of Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and New York, including Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. Syracuse, you're going to keep snow going on Saturday. Dave.
Thank you, Alex. Well, we got a big weekend coming up. Good Friday. We've got Easter and Passover.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 66. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Keep an eye to the sky for this.
Can you see it on the ground there?
Oh,
That
yeah.
is hail, one of the storm threats we are tracking today.
Ahead, where hail, lightning, damaging winds, even tornadoes could hit now through the end of the work week.
This is a special edition of Severe Storm Central as we keep you ahead of rough weather that could threaten parts of the heartland and the southeast over the next 3 days. So it's a long haul here.
It is. And I'm Alex Wilson here with Dave Schwartz. Along with the storm threat this afternoon, we're also keeping you on top of history.
That's right. California's governor has now ordered mandatory water restrictions for the first time in the state's history. We'll have more on that story and its impact throughout the show.
But we begin with that storm threat. This is what chasers saw yesterday as storms started to pop in Oklahoma. Parts of that state and the southern plains, they're at risk again today.
That is one beautiful shot. We've had severe weather around Fort Worth, Texas today, some hail, and also up into Missouri, thunder showers just north of Minneapolis for the first time in a long time. And there's a widespread threat of severe weather in the area shaded in red today. Northern plains and southern plains back into the southern Mississippi River Valley, including Memphis and Little Rock.
And this is really just day one. We want to send it out to the lab with our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes. He's got the latest on what's happening now and what we're going to be watching for over the next few days, Dr. Forbes.
Yeah, indeed. Lots of hail once again thus far today. That probably will be the main mode. Near Fort Worth, we've had tennis ball size hail on a couple of locations. We've had 1-inch hail, a lot of them being reported occasionally bigger than that in Missouri. There's some storms on the Arkansas border and then north and east of Memphis. So let's take a look at these first, then we'll come back and look in depth at what's going on near the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. Here off to the north and east of Springfield in southwest Missouri, Dallas and Webster counties, north and west of Marshfield there with that possibility of 1-inch hail. And you can never totally rule out a damaging wind gust with that. One storm all by itself there coming out of northern Arkansas toward Gatewood in southern Missouri, Randolph County in Arkansas with a warning for that hail. And then a line of storms now forming off to the north and east of Memphis and Tennessee, Fayette, Shelby, and Tipton counties. Several places within there, you can see the red cores could be getting some 1-inch hail or larger and maybe a damaging wind gust. So this is in the northern end of a big area of moist air that has some upper air forcing that I'll show you in a moment that goes all the way down into central Texas. The biggest of the storms near the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. There is one warning down in Mason County, some other thunderstorms in between, but it's up to the west of Dallas where the biggest of the storms is located. Here is the Fort Worth area. So we're talking storms that are produced tennis ball size hail, and now Parker, it's out of Parker, it's now into Tarrant and Denton and Wise counties as that warning. This is the brand new warning. Going to zoom in and show you the high definition radar of this. Look at that. There's a whole big line here of large hail, and these two spots here are the ones where it was Parker County that had the tennis ball size hail. It's got a bit of wings to it, so it's sort of merging together. And I took a slice a few minutes ago right down that hail core, and it's a big storm. The top is up here at about 40,000 feet, so nearly 8 miles tall. And this is sort of northwest to southeast, a big area here of look at all that hail going up to 20,000 feet. So a big storm there. It does have some upper air forcing. You see a little bit of counterclockwise spin coming across Kansas and down into the Texas area, helping light up these storms that I've been just showing you. There's a cold front that's coming up toward the area farther north, but it doesn't have the moisture that we have down here in the south. Look at these dew points reflecting the moisture. They're in the 60s. That's what we expect to see for severe thunderstorms. There's the cold front where the northwest winds collide with the southwest winds, but the moisture hasn't gotten up to Minnesota yet. Dew points still there in the 30s. So a little on the dry side this evening. Maybe some spotty severe thunderstorms right where the cold front pushes up the air from southwest Minnesota, western Iowa, northeast to central parts of Nebraska down into parts of Kansas. And overnight, that line continues down into the Kansas City area. Those ongoing storms from Texas to Missouri keep going and maybe spread into the St. Louis area, and maybe some storms will get into the Kansas City area as well. So it is getting to be a pretty active pattern the next couple of days as well. We'll talk more in the show about the severe threats then. Let's go back now to Dave and Alex.
Thank you, Dr. Forbes. New to us this evening, for the first time in history, California leaders ordered water use slashed by 25%. That's due to the historic drought and record low water levels, not to mention a historically low snowpack in the Sierra. Now, besides the 25% cut, the state will also replace 50 million square feet of lawns throughout the state with drought-tolerant landscaping. And this could also affect how much people pay for water. The governor's order calls on local water agencies to adjust their rate structures to implement conservation pricing. That means if you use more water, it's going to cost a lot more. California Governor Jerry Brown made the announcement earlier today.
We're standing on dry grass, and we should be standing in 5 feet of snow. That's the way it has been. We're in an historic drought, and that demands unprecedented action. For that reason, I'm issuing an executive order mandating substantial water reduction across our state.
And we want to go over now to Dave for a detailed look at just how bad the drought is in California, and not to mention, Dave, the record heat they've been dealing with.
And those two really go hand in hand, Alex. You know, the record heat is because we've had this big ridge of high pressure sitting over us, and that has deflected the storms from the Pacific Ocean north into western Canada. We've been high and dry and hot. Now, there is some good news here. If you can see that in the lower left-hand part of the screen, 3 months ago, our extreme drought covered 76%, 78% of the state. That's down to 67. You know, we'd like to see that a lot lower because, well, this is the end of the wet season. And we are going to get a chance for some showers here in California as we get in a little bit closer. Here's a look at the snowpack. That's already bad news here. We were 100% of snowpack, or average snowpack, back in 2005. Fast forward 10 years and look how bad things are. 5% of the average snowpack. And you know what snowpack is? Not just fun to ski on, but that's our water in the summertime. That's how bad things are and will be. Now, the ground's so dry that crews tried to burn fire fuels near San Bernardino County, but strong winds yesterday caused a brush fire to spiral out of control yesterday. Officials evacuated some homes overnight last night. Well, we'll get a little bit of help from Mother Nature here in the Central Valley. We need a lot of help, but we'll take a chance for showers on Sunday and Tuesday in Sacramento. And in Los Angeles, we're still high and dry. Conservation is the key. Now this.
Buy one suit, get two free at Joseph A. Bank. Our entire stock of fine wool suits is buy one, get two free. New slim fit, new colors, new styles. Now through Saturday at Joseph A. Bank.
Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hopping, Easter's on its way. Bring in every girl and boy, baskets full of Easter joy, things to make your Easter bright and gay.
With Walmart's low prices you can trust every day, there's even more to celebrate this Easter. Walmart.
These spicy super crunch chicken strips are not your mom's chicken strips.
No, they're my chicken strips.
This is an expression. It means they're not, plain old chicken strips.
Are you calling my mom plain and old?
No, I like these chicken strips.
Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes.
Oh my gosh.
Mom, you have an admirer. She is interested?
Okay.
Chicken strips with a kick worth calling home about. Spicy Super Crunch chicken strips. Add some spark to your morning with new Sonic Spark energy drinks. This is how you Sonic.
Why do we do it? Why do we spend every waking moment thinking about people? Why are we so committed to keeping you connected? Why combine performance with a conscience? Why innovate for a future without accidents? Why do any of it? Why do all of it? Because if it matters to you, it's everything to us. The XC60 crossover from Volvo. Lease the well-equipped Volvo XC60 today. Visit your local Volvo showroom for details.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, Sundays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 66. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sundays.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, Sundays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Andrew, Rita, Sandy. Meet Chris, Jackie, Joe. Minor damage or major disaster. When you need us most, we're there. State Farm. We're a force of nature, too.
Water. We take our showers with it. We make our coffee with it. But we rarely tap its true potential and just let it be itself. Flowing freely into clean lakes, clear streams, and along more freshwater coastline than any other state in the country. Come realize water's true potential. Dive in to the waters of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
I recommend Nature Made vitamins because I trust their quality. They were the first to have a vitamin verified by USP, an independent organization that sets strict quality and purity standards.
Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended letter vitamin brand.
Today will not be the end of this severe weather threat. It's actually going to ramp up tomorrow. We're going to tell you who's got a 4 in 10 chance of seeing a tornado. Right now, we're looking at St. Louis also tomorrow. So one of the areas that we need to keep a very close eye on, and we're telling you now so you have time to prepare. Make sure you've got those apps downloaded. Make sure you have a weather radio. You need some way to know about those storms if they were to affect your neighborhood, your county. So let's talk about the storm threat for tomorrow and exactly the chance of storms, including for the St. Louis area. This is again Thursday. What we're watching for tomorrow, that warm, moist air setting up in spots off towards the east of the dry line. Dry line develops through parts of Oklahoma and Texas, and just out ahead of that is where we'll see those thunderstorms fire. We've got that upper level jet stream dipping off towards the south, and these are the areas, notice, just east of that dry line where we will see the thunderstorms fire eventually, working towards St. Louis and Memphis and Paducah, Kentucky, and also Louisville, Kentucky, Indianapolis, Indiana, Fort Worth, or rather Little Rock, Arkansas, I should say, and north of Dallas. Now, eastern Oklahoma, this is where you've got to watch for a 4 out of 10 chance of a tornado. That's our Torcon value, meaning there's a 40% chance of a tornado within 50 miles of a location for eastern Oklahoma, and that would include the Tulsa area. So say Tulsa is this point on the map. When you've got a 4 on your Torcon, as your Torcon value, within a 50-mile radius of the area of Tulsa, you multiply the Torcon number by 10, that gives you 40. That's your percent chance of a tornado. So 40% chance, that's definitely a moderate risk, and in that case, you would want to be very weather aware through the day. Thursday morning through the evening, that's your time frame for the St. Louis area as far as your chance time to see the thunderstorms. Damaging wind gusts, large hail, definite possibilities with storms, and the best chance for the severe threats or the severe problems, the wind gusts, the hail, coming during the afternoon. By Thursday night, that threat will diminish. So the good news, at least for the St. Louis area, is that it will not be an overnight risk for you as much as an afternoon risk. Always better when it's a time when people are up and around and able to get those warnings without sleeping through them. But definitely make sure you have a way to get those warnings. If you live in a mobile home, make sure you know where the nearest sturdy structure is and identify with your family where the safe spot in your own home is to go in case you do see one of those warnings. Dave.
Now, tornadoes are measured using the EF scale. It's actually the damage they cause is rated. Now, we're here to make sure you know what that is. So how are tornadoes calculated? EF2, EF5. Meteorologist Mark Elliott explains how the ratings are made.
In order to give a tornado its EF scale rating, we don't actually measure the winds inside it. Instead, we look at the damage afterwards. For an EF0, there's not too much damage at all, maybe a couple of shingles getting blown off. By EF1, far more shingles coming off the roof, and we might start to see a piece of the roof coming down. By EF2, much bigger problems. Entire pieces of the roof can get sheared off, while the entire house could actually get shifted on the foundation. EF3 comes around and we start to see wall problems. The walls, the exterior walls can start to tip inward. By EF4, even those interior walls can start to collapse. That's when the small rooms that we tell you to hide in might not even save you. And by EF5, the entire house can get blown off the foundation, nothing left but a slab.
Well, we've shown you how strong tornadoes can be and just ahead how they grow to be that strong. It's the anatomy of a tornado courtesy of our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, as our special coverage of this severe weather threat continues. I want to leave you with another weather safety tip. If you're in a vehicle and a tornado warning is issued, seek shelter in a sturdy building. Find somewhere nearby that's safe to run to. Avoid shelter under bridges, a common misnomer that those are actually safe spots to be. And if you're far enough away and you can visualize where the tornado is going, drive out of its path by moving at right angles to the storm. We'll be right back.
High-performance car, but you're still wearing your indoor eyeglasses in the glare of the sun? Experience Xperio UV, superior polarized sun lenses, and experience the difference. High-tech skis, and you're not wearing Xperio UV on the slopes? They eliminate 100% of blinding reflective glare and offer the maximum UV protection. Think the view can't get any better than this? Ask for Xperio UV, superior polarized sun lenses in your prescription for the best vision under the sun.
Get $90 back combining Crizal, Verilux, and Transitions and a second pair with Xperio UV.
Your eyes depend on a unique set of nutrients.
That's why there's Ocuvite. Ocuvite helps replenish key eye nutrients. Ocuvite has a unique formula that's just not found in any leading multivitamin.
Help protect your eye health with Ocuvite.
It's on! Come on, get together. Yeah, right.
Oh man, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Harry.
You gotta do it like this. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, George. Hey, Jim.
State Farm agents are there whenever you need them. It's the Men's Warehouse Total Style event. Get select suits for $199.99. 3 select non-iron dress shirts for just $99.99. Plus, buy one, get one free on even more. Only at Men's Warehouse.
Working on my feet all day gave me pain here.
In my knees.
But now, I step on this machine and get my number, which matches my Dr. Scholl's custom-fit orthotic inserts. Now I get immediate relief from my foot pain.
My knee pain.
Find a machine at drscholls.com.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash
This is perfect.
is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, Sundays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Welcome to Strength and Performance from Cub Cadet, the proven innovator of award-winning zero-turn riders. Welcome to efficient zero-turn performance with the ease of steering wheel control and an advanced cutting system, delivering beautiful results every time. Welcome to Strongsville. Experience the strongest lineup of zero turns in the business. Visit your local Cub Cadet dealer today, where you'll find exceptional financing for a limited time.
Mom and Dad told us they had just made their funeral and burial prearrangements. We thought they already had taken care of that. When we learned it was through Beth Israel and Eternal Light, we knew everything would be handled in the most caring and professional way. We realized it would be one of the most difficult days of our lives. It inspired my husband and me to make our own prearrangements so the burden wouldn't fall on our children when that day comes. It's not an easy thing to think about, but I'm so glad we did.
Now.
Sundays. One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers. Sundays at 9. Only on the Weather Channel.
Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 66. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Thanks for staying with us. Monitoring a severe thunderstorm offering up some big hail into the state of Texas. This just off towards the west of Dallas. In fact, northeast of Fort Worth, actually due north of the Fort Worth area right now. This is working eventually towards Flower Mountain, but right now about to cross over 35 west, and reports with this storm of hail up to baseball size. So we are talking about large hail around 3 inches. Now this says about 4 inches. However, the reports are closer to 3 inches. Still, it's going to cause damage to your car. It's dangerous to be outside. So especially if you know anybody who's about to cross any of these highways north of Fort Worth, let them know about this storm before it's too late. Unfortunately, just to the north of the city, if you're on that roadway, might be a little too late for the hood of your car. But watch out for that one. And that severe warning continues as that storm moves east. Now we've got a warning off towards the north and east of Springfield, Missouri. You notice that yellow area. And this again for the chance of hail and winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. This storm just off to the north and east of Memphis, including the Oakland area, Fayette, Shelby, and Tipton counties. You're under a severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45 Central Time. So this is going to impact people trying to make their way home. Gusty winds, large hail possible with this one. And if you're inside a home, make sure you're in an interior room. And if your car's in the path of this storm and under cover or out of cover, make sure you can get it under cover. Could see hail quarter to golf ball size with this one. Dave.
And Alex, right in Memphis, we had some big thunderstorms last night, right about midnight. And now the storms are off to the north of the Bluff City, so we should be able to get home without any rain or thunderstorms. But they'll be back before the weekend is here, I guarantee it. Severe thunderstorms for Friday. Here we go. We're going to be watching a disturbance in the flow, or this little kink in the flow, move through the Rocky Mountains, help to get the snow going in Denver tomorrow and tomorrow night, a couple of inches, and then out into the plains. That's the staging area for severe weather. So from the plains and maybe even Dallas again, probably east of there, all the way up to the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys, the threat for more thunderstorms with large hail and damaging winds, and maybe in Kentucky or a tornado. So if Kentucky or Tennessee, if you live in Louisville or Frankfort, Nashville, Clarksville, there'll be a 3 in 10 chance of seeing a tornado within 50 miles of any point. Here in Louisville, we're going to have some thunderstorms, maybe a tornado too. Now here is Dr. Forbes to explain how those tornadoes form. Very fascinating.
I'm going to talk about the anatomy of a tornado. Many tornadoes form from thunderstorms that themselves rotate. We call them supercells. They wrap the precipitation into this hook shape. The tornado tends to form just north of the edge of that hook. And that supercell thunderstorm has three-dimensional structure, the hook often in the southwest corner, and then the big tower of the body of the storm going up to the north and east of that. The hook itself is often part of a rotation at cloud base level that we call a wall cloud, and then the tornado comes down underneath that, and the tornado itself often kicks up dust and debris. We call that a debris cloud right down near the ground. Now, the tornado often has pretty much updraft going upward within it, but it has a rift-like downdraft that comes down from that wall cloud on one side of it, updraft, warm moist air coming down on the other. And for some tornadoes, the tornado, if it gets strong enough, will actually get a bit of a downdraft at the center, and the updraft within the tornado will instead go up on either side while the air spirals around on the edge of the tornado. And sometimes these wide downdraft at the center tornadoes can break down and have multiple vortices that we call suction vortices that revolve about it. Tornadoes can be complex. There you have it, the anatomy of a tornado.
When it comes to tornadoes, that guy knows what he's talking about.
100%.
Former grad student of Ted Fujita at the University of Chicago.
And that's why he's our severe weather expert, and you can count on him to be here through the rest of the week to cover these storms. And, you know, in addition to tornadoes, we're also watching for lightning, even in non-severe storms. We'll talk about the dangers next.
Lennox makes the most energy-efficient system you can find, which means the appliance you use the most will also save you the most. Save up to $1,700 on qualifying systems, now through June 12th.
For more information, contact your local Lennox dealer.
Wow, something sounds sweet in here. Need a little honey in the bowl.
That's good. Oh, yeah.
No, must be the honey.
My budget was always second-guessing me when I'd buy stuff for the family. Fingerhut, 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 Fingerhut. At Fingerhut.com, we can shop with low monthly payments. Over 200,000 items and growing from brands like Samsung, Lego, and KitchenAid. Just click on over to Fingerhut.com to get the credit you deserve and great stuff for your family. Oh, not Fingerhut. I got that at a garage sale. For $1.
Whatever their stickers say, they'll all lose suction because their filters clog. But with our sonic tips oscillating at 5,000 Hertz, only new Dyson Kinetic Science won't lose suction.
All we need to sell Strongbow Hard Cider is ice. And an award for best tasting hard cider.
Have you got the shot yet?
Remember that thing about keeping your face behind the award? Strongbow.
Peter, one day you will die for me. We are fishermen, not fighters.
I never had you for a coward.
My son chose you for a reason, Peter. Join us and become a real force to be reckoned with.
We are already beyond counting.
AD, The Bible Continues, this Sunday on NBC.
Oh, I love game night. Oh, it's a house and a car.
So far, you're horrible at this, Flo.
Yeah, no talent for drawing, Flo. House, car. Oh, raise the roof. No one?
Remember when we used to raise the roof, Diane?
Oh, quiet, Richard. I'm trying to make sense of Flo's terrible drawing. I'll draw the pants off that thing. Oh, hats on hamburgers. Dancing. Drive-in movie theater.
Home and auto.
Squares.
Lamp. Lines. Stupid, dumb.
No. Home and auto bundle from Progressive. Saves you money.
Yay, game night. So much fun.
We are still in the eye, and we're still trying to get into the same place.
She is in labor right now.
We know more about this system hour by hour.
This is our Pineapple Express pumping in that rainfall.
We are talking about a doozy of a storm.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under fair skies. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 66. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy, low 70. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sundays.
One man's trash
This is perfect.
is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.